He's exhausted.
Yeah.
And he's not getting enough calories to keep him going like that.
What we are trying to do is to get that routine going so that he gets into a custom of waking up in the morning, having his breakfast, then having his lunch, and then his evening meal, so that we can avoid that grazing and snacking that's been going on.
Oh yeah, poor kid, not getting enough calories. He's starving. I think if there was any kind of inclination that the mom was part of the problem, we just found it right here. You can go suck a bottle of syrup, lady. Like, get the hell out of here.
You can't just make Tommy 3 meals in a day and stay awake.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sean back, and today we are checking in on obesity kids, which is a thing I know a little bit about, considering I passed my dad in weight in 6th grade. So definitely a fat kid, fat my whole life, so kind of how I got up to 605 pounds. But this is how children eat themselves to death. And you guys sent me this 3 different times. 3 different people sent it to me. So it's either pretty funny or pretty informative. It's going to be one of the two. But let's give it a go, see what they got, what these kids are dealing with, and yeah, let's just see what it is.
Obesity is a crisis in this country now.
Of children?
Yeah, are overweight or obese. It should have been addressed a long time ago.
Your weight's come back up and that has to be addressed.
Tommy has put about 12 kilograms in the last 5 months. How can this happen?
That's like 30 pounds in 5 months. It's kind of slow. In my book, it's slow. Anybody else is like, damn. But me, I'm like, yeah, I could do that in a month.
We're in the middle of an epidemic.
The head of the NHS last night described the trend as startling, warning the figures were the tip of a very large iceberg.
A whole generation is at risk.
Is there a weight problem in the family? She's regained 2 kilos, so it's not really working, is it?
But the NHS is fighting back.
To be brutally honest, mate, though, you've got to stop putting so much food in your mouth, haven't you?
I love the way, like, over the pond, you guys put it, just stop eating. And over here, we're just like, yeah, make the portions bigger in the US.
A hand-picked team of specialists has assembled.
Childhood obesity is much more than a medical issue.
To help Britain's heaviest young people lose weight.
Get on the scale, Sam, please.
Damn, long walk.
But they'll do it by tackling the whole family.
I want nothing but my child back.
I understand.
And I'm not going to have this conversation in front of other patients.
With
You ever notice that a lot of times when the kid's like pretty overweight, the parents are usually either up there or they think they're doing something like great by giving their kid everything they never had, which was like my mom's circumstance growing up. She didn't have a lot, so she thought, I'll give my son everything. And Sean took it all, baby. I didn't back off one bit.
time running out.
If you don't address it when you're a child, by the time you're an adolescent, it's almost getting too late.
They hope this no-holds-barred approach
It's sailing close to the wind, mate.
will stop kids eating their way
You don't want to get diabetes.
into an early grave.
This is what our new patients turn up like, BMI of 40 plus at the age of 12.
The health problems are absolutely huge. If we don't reverse it now, we would be failing these children.
So we're gonna have a whole bunch of tantrums going on here. It looks like they are not getting much older than the early teens with these kids. So yeah, you're gonna be around the time you're a teenager, especially like speaking from a guy's perspective, a lot of things change and your mind goes haywire with testosterone. So we'll see how that kid deals with that. Oh, SOS. They got my name there. Sick.
Hello, come in.
Nearly finished, Angel. You're really, really brave.
Bristol Royal Hospital for Children is home to the UK's leading obesity clinic for young people.
You know what makes it crazy hard though? Watching a kid that's overweight and knowing the kind of torment they could possibly be going through at school. Because kids are brutal, man. They don't pull any punches. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to watch them and know what they're going through.
People.
Without wishing to scare you, it's becoming an issue. Your family are putting the effort in. The one person that's not losing weight is you.
It's the last resort for a growing number of kids living with extreme obesity.
I've seen children out of breath by the time they've walked from the waiting room into the clinic room. You have to address that.
Her eating and drinking is out of control. It always has been. If I don't give her food, she'll eat toilet paper.
I've seen children with BMIs of 65, 67, and...
Isn't that called Prader-Willi syndrome, when they just will eat anything? I think that's what it's called.
Because overweight and obesity have become so prevalent in the country, then people have stopped recognising it as being different. 85% of parents don't recognise that their child's overweight, and with ultimate responsibility for the care of that child lies with their parents.
The clinic is run by a crack team of specialists looking at the social, medical, and emotional reasons for obesity.
I think the emotional reasons play the biggest part. At least that's how I've kind of always felt about it, but the crack cotton candy team are coming in.
Already a lot of support in place for the family.
Together they see more than 80 kids a week.
Maybe we need to do more work with mum.
But they don't stop with the patient. They take on the parents too.
We were just going to try and step up the therapy.
Traditionally, like, our team didn't exist. People would just see the consultant, but there was a need for more than just a medical view.
At 23 stone, 14-year-old Tommy is one of the clinic's heaviest patients.
23 stone, 280 plus 42, so 322 pounds. Lightweight by my book, but yeah.
Tommy is a 14-year-old boy who has been in our service for quite some time because of morbid obesity, and recently has been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome.
I'll tell you something about 13, 14-year-old boys. When things start happening, he wants to lose weight, probably for women. Like, that's the main driving force. You do everything at that age. I mean, if your teacher unzips their lunchbox the wrong way, you could lift the desk without your friggin' hands. Just saying.
As well. Have you got Tommy's notes?
Yes, yeah.
Right, Tommy has put about 12 kilograms in the last 5 months. Huge amount of weight. How can this happen? It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Despite 18 months of treatment, Tommy has put on 6 stone and his weight is spiralling out of control.
If you're just following the 1600 calories diet, so it's not compliant at all. He's gaining weight, so we probably have to bring him in.
I hate that little curve chart. I can still think back to when I was a little kid and I saw that puppy and I was like, oh, you got a roller coaster on there, huh?
How have you been?
No, I'm absolutely ruined, honestly.
Right.
I can't.
How is your back pain?
I'm getting pain a lot on my knees now. I've done something to my ankle. I don't know what. It hurts a bit.
We've been under the service quite a long time now, and we are almost 30 kilos different.
Yeah.
So she's enabling him. At least they're here trying to get some form of help. But at the same time, you have to know that mom's a little bit behind this kid possibly being on his way to platform 903/4.
Heavier.
Yeah.
Obesity is a disease in its own right. They can have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems, liver problems, pressure within their brain. It's life-limiting.
In extreme...
No one told me that Snickers make your brain swell. I should be dead, man. I ate a hell of a lot of that. I got fat. Is that why I'm so stupid? Did food make me stupid and make my brain swell?
Cases like Tommy's, the team can take drastic action.
Tom, realistically, what we need to do is we probably have to get you in the hospital as an inpatient.
Giving them round-the-clock treatment in hospital.
We could basically shower you with some input. It means we get to understand you and your habits.
Did she just tell a 14-year-old boy they're going to shower him? I think 14-year-old boys will sign up for nurses showering them.
Keeping the child in the hospital, that is extreme. But we do this in a selective group of patients whom we think an intervention is likely to benefit them. The aim is to absolutely calorie count everything and to offer him other forms of support and keep a close eye on his weight. It's quite intense, really.
And what duration is that for?
Usually up to a week, because the rate of weight gain is quite significantly worrying now. Yeah.
I mean, is there activity involved? Is there exercise?
Yeah, we're gonna hopscotch lady instead of eat butterscotch. What? Of course they're gonna make him probably work out if they put him in there for a week. It would be the best thing to change his mentality around food if he goes home and the second he gets home, he just starts eating again and gaining weight.
Those things that are actually going to be motivational and kick off endorphins.
So I think there are various things that we can do. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah. 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 It's understandable.
Yeah. And he can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm grieving for a child that's still sat here.
I'm too heavy to play football or do rugby. I have to walk up the stairs in school. At the top I'm sweating. My shirt's pretty much gone to see-through.
You remember when you get in middle school and people are jumping up 2 stairs and you're struggling to get up 1 because you're too fat? Yeah, so I know what he's going through. But soccer, football, as you guys call it, not a fat-friendly sport. Rugby, he'd be all right at rugby if he just went out and did it.
You get called fat, and then after a while you're just like, oh well.
Aw, poor kid.
Tommy will return in 2 weeks to see if the team's radical approach will work.
Aiden, come in.
Like all the clinic's patients, he's in a race against time. If a young person is still obese at 14, they're 80% more likely to be an adult living with obesity.
Damn. 4 out of 5, you're going to be a fat adult if you're 14 and you're still overweight. I mean, it kind of tracks. If you get to that point, you haven't addressed it in any way, shape, or form. Why not just go straight into adulthood doing the same?
Quite a big increase in weight, probably about 3 kilograms a month. So what's been going on? The first part of being a doctor is being a detective. We're trying to work out what's happening within the family that is leading to the excess weight.
We've been counting the calories every time she eats.
Checking the food as we've been going along.
So despite this, the weight is going up.
They don't like it, nobody likes it, but you probe and sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. What's going on? Did you go and find other food somewhere else? I don't think that is sufficient to explain a 2 kilogram weight gain. So I need to be really, really honest.
Well, she's friggin' exercising. Either that or somebody gave her a Red Bull on the way in here, which is empty calories. But yeah, I mean, they're not keeping track of everything they're eating at this age. So it's pretty easy to climb that calorie count throughout the day.
One of the youngest patients is 5-year-old Liliana. She's
5?
twice the average weight for her age. And the team need to work out why.
How has it been since the last appointment?
It's been very stressful, lots of tantrums. She's got into a really bad habit now of stealing food.
Okay.
From the cupboards, the fridge.
Yeah, you little cupcake klepto. But kids are gonna sneak food. She's 5. She probably hadn't even realized she's fat yet compared to the other kids. The only thing she knows is she can't keep up at recess.
I caught her eating a raw sausage out of the freezer.
Sorry?
A raw sausage. That's how bad it's got.
Yeah.
So she had her meal and then she had the babies.
So what
I got yogurts in my fridge and milk. She'll drink a whole pint of milk.
So basically, she's very clever of finding ways to get food.
People assume that I've got no rules, no discipline, no boundaries, which is not true. Liliana is hard work, and people don't see that.
Every kid's hard work, of course they are, but if you're gonna address the weight issue, you probably are stepping in at the perfect time to do it when she's 5, and you could start making like healthier eating habits for her.
Lily, stop smacking me, please.
Oh.
Liliana is on a calorie-controlled diet set by the clinic, but it's not going to plan.
She gets quite angry and violent when like anyone mentions food, and then she gets really upset. And she'll do.
Damn, Elsa over here, the little ice princess, gets pretty pissed off when she don't get her food, huh? And mom probably wants to give in and give her whatever the hell she wants. And she's like, oh, I don't have any discipline. I can tell if the girl's already smacking her whenever she's not getting her way. The discipline in that house might not quite be up to par.
Do this until she's eaten. It's gonna go do some strawberries and grapes. No. But this is every day, all day. When she got to 1 year old, she physically couldn't lift up her own body weight. She was constantly crying, constantly screaming for food. She wouldn't sleep through the night. And me just being a mum, and my natural instinct is that if she's up and she's awake and she's a baby, I'm gonna put a bottle in her mouth.
Or she'll have a mental breakdown when you don't give her a Milky Way. I mean, you gotta let kids throw tantrums, right? If they're gonna act this way, just let them scream it out. I have a feeling that she just wants her to be quiet half the time and just gives her what she wants. That's why this kind of hasn't simmered down yet, but kids are tough, man. You never know.
And settle her. Look, Lily, the pasta's done now, darling. No, no cheese today, because this morning you took the block of cheese and there's a massive bite mark in my cheese.
Shut up.
Pardon?
Shut up.
Mummy doesn't like it when you speak to me like that. Your meat's done now, Lil. She just thinks I starve her because she's constantly hungry. And it makes me feel like a crap mum because there's only so much I can do to look after her and keep her fit and healthy.
She's not starving. She's just used to getting her way and eating all the sweets and your taste buds. Like, she probably doesn't think like all the healthier foods taste good because she's adapted to eating all the junk and like high calorie, high fat stuff that tastes better. But you kind of have to readjust. At least that's my understanding of how it works.
The doctor threatened me with social services, and that petrified me. Doctors need to look into it more because it's getting out of hand now. I know that there's something wrong. You need to eat nice and slow.
No, I don't believe it.
You don't believe me? Slow down, darling. You should be, Philip. That was a lot of food.
All right, if she's licking the bowl like that, if I saw her out in public and she was around a normal weight or a light weight, like I would think the mom actually was starving her a little bit, but she's clearly not starved. Something else is going on here.
Hospital obesity cases have increased by...
Sweet, show me this guy's hostess happy trail. Why are we zooming in on this guy's nethers?
almost a quarter in just a year, with spiraling cases among toddlers and young children.
Being hungry is normal. I don't think it's there to say you need to eat immediately. It's kind of there as a sort of evolutionary idea that it reminds the animal or the human that they've got to eat. And if you manage that, then there'd be a lot less of a problem in this country.
Julian is called to an emergency.
James.
Hi. Thanks for taking the referral.
An 18-stone teenager has been rushed in after his hip collapsed.
So we've got this chap who's 15 years old. His BMI is 44. He presented to us with a painful right hip.
Okay.
You can't be having a hip give out at 15, right? He's overweight, but you would think that age you can get away with it a lot more, right?
And X-rays revealed that he had quite a severe slipped-off femoral epiphysis. So the ball and socket has slipped off. Yeah. So we're going to get it back to a nice, normal-looking thigh bone. In the long term, the hope is that gives much less chance of having problems like arthritis or pain.
What's the chances, James, of him having the other hip, is it increased by his weight?
So once you've had one, you're probably about 50 times more likely to have the other hip than the general population.
We certainly would with a BMI like that.
And weight's certainly a factor, so it'd be useful to reduce that, particularly while he's got some growth left to go.
Yeah.
BMI of 44, he's up there. I mean, that falls into morbidly obese, but mine got all the way up to 73.8. But we've seen people on my 600-pound life that are all the way up into the hundreds that actually weigh less than I did at my biggest. So height plays a huge factor in that. I don't know, a lot of people don't agree with the BMI scale. They don't like it at all as a measurement.
Are you sure you don't want some toast?
Hey, Harry.
Hello.
So I wanted to introduce a friend of mine. This is Prof. Hamilton Shield.
Hi, Harry, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Are you Mum? Hi.
Yeah, I'm Sue.
Do you know that you're at increased risk of getting the same problem on the other side unless we do something about Harry's weight, really? I mean, is there a weight problem in the family? Yeah. Is that on both sides?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, questions you don't really have to ask when somebody's sitting there and shaking their head and you see they have a double chin too. Obviously, they have a weight issue in the family.
it's really important that we get Harry to lose quite a few stone.
Yeah.
Okay. If I get you now, it's probably the best time because you know that this has got some relationship to your weight, so it'd be a good time to start, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The team has no option but to operate on Harry before it's too late.
I can't even believe a 15-year-old's already getting hip surgery. That's just wild to me.
But it's a risky procedure.
Right, definitely this side. Sure? You'll be surprised how many people are going to check that in the next couple of hours. It's a pretty big operation. All the general complications of surgery, things like bleeding, risk of blood clots, infections, all go up in someone who's obese.
Harry is not allergic to anything. He weighs 140 kilograms.
I didn't realise it was as bad as it was.
Okay, folks.
I think he's somewhere around 250 pounds. So yeah, he's not as big as I would have thought to have a hip replacement.
All right, thank you. Sleep.
Okay.
Okay. I suppose you see them every day, you see them all the time, and you don't realise how much weight he's put on.
Such a long wait.
Oh, I know.
With losing weight, you gotta make sure your diet's right, you gotta do enough exercise. I don't really wanna go and see the dietitian. I don't like people telling me, what to do with myself, so.
I'm not trusting my nurse or surgeon if they have a little Kim tattoo behind their ear with that little paw print. I'm just saying, I don't trust you for a second.
I just wanna do it on my own.
"14-year-old Tommy is getting ready to check himself in for his emergency weight loss. At more than 23 stone, he's the heaviest he's ever been.
Jesus Christ, it gets so boring staying in your room all day. I just eat because I'm bored. Chris.
All right, so if we wanted to guess why this kid's gaining weight, you can see the obvious answer right here. He's just eating chips, empty, stupid calories all the time. So of course you're gonna gain weight if you just play video games and eat like this.
Cakes, yogurts, ice
Long romantic walks to the fridge. Yeah, I've had a few dates with the fridge.
cream. Just a bit of everything, really.
I don't know what Tom's eating. Unless I'm stuck to him 24 hours a day, I'm never going to know.
Come on, snickerdoodle Satan. You know what the hell this boy's eating. You ever walked into his bedroom? Seen the soda can graveyard next to his bed?
Tom will come home from school, straight into his room, watch some things on TV, may play his games. He just zones out.
PS4 is my drug. Just sit here, play that, go to sleep, eat, sleep, game, repeat,
People are very quick to say, oh, well, it's because they're sat on their games all the time. There's children 8 stone sat on their games all the time.
All right, but the difference is in the amount they're eating and the different types of food. Some children eat healthy and play a bunch of video games. Other people have their mother kind of enable them, like you are, and just maybe tickle their tonsils with a friggin' taquito.
So you can't blame things like that.
She doesn't tell me to get off. She never has. Every time she takes something away from me, I used to just find something else to do. So I think she just found it easy just to let me just be on that.
Smart kid.
To
Gets his way.
Hospitalise your child. Getting to a point where a doctor is telling you this could potentially kill your child. That's really, really hard.
Statistically, children with one obese parent have a 50% chance of being obese. Two obese parents, they have an 80% chance. So what does that tell us?
Boy, in Britain, you guys love some full frontal fupa here. Just zoom right in on the goods, huh? This is kind of... would you be a little offended if you were walking down the street and the next thing you know, you saw your Franken beans on the TV?
Some people are programmed to be slim and some people are programmed to be fat. It's not ignorance, it's not choice.
It's your responsibility.
You know something funny, if you're a guy though, you can buy fake like D prints on Amazon. It's like a little insert to make it look bigger, which I think is funny because they got like catfishing, and now for guys you have cod dicking. Like you can fake dick somebody.
Responsibility as a parent to ensure that your child is of a healthy weight. It's not the government's
Ooh, cod cocking. That sounds funnier.
responsibility to fill your fridge.
Tommy checks into the hospital.
Shirley is going to come this afternoon.
Yeah.
And Claire has got some sessions as well.
Yeah.
I will see him most mornings.
From now on, his diet and exercise will be controlled by the team.
Dan, long walk. So in terms of weight, his weight yesterday, admission was 147.
Okay.
Which is about a kilogram extra since the time we saw him. So I told them to weigh him again around Thursday.
Yes.
If you don't track what you're eating, right? When you're this age, like you'd think that nothing's ever going to catch up to you. You're Superman. You're just going to keep going until you can't go anymore. Personally, when I was this age, I thought I'll be dead by 30. It doesn't really matter what I eat. So it's very much like instant gratification, where you just don't care about what's coming tomorrow as long as you get what you want today.
Today there's a food plan and begin the initial assessment and a walk with Tom. Tomorrow, just talk about food at home. Thursday, exercise, walk and food goals for home. Friday, multi-sports activity and a walk and food goals. I mean, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah, what is exercising and eating healthier going to do for weight loss? I'm gobsmacked by this one. This lady literally is going to like tick me off this entire episode.
Like, could have done that at home. I could have walked up the road and I just don't see that that's a very intense plan.
So get to hiking heavy. Like what are you talking about? But yeah, I don't know what walking's going to do. Shut the hell up.
Tommy's case is so extreme that Dinesh needs more specialist help in the shape of the team's social worker.
Yeah, the social worker on the team, a lot of people get quite anxious about us being here because they think all the social workers do is come and remove their children. But, a few times that it's happened that children have been removed, we've seen pretty drastic weight loss. Hi, Tommy.
Bro, can you in Britain take someone's child because they're fat? Because I would have got kidnapped a long ass time ago if that was the case. I've been a fat kid forever. So that's kind of crazy if you could step in. Like a lot of people probably are like, yes, do it, go off. Because I've seen people be like, the parent should be in trouble for this. Well, the kids, the parents, yeah, there's some kind of dynamic there. But I don't think taking the kid out of the house is the best circumstance.
How are you? I would like to have a bit of understanding about their family dynamic, what they're finding difficult at home, the impact of what parents are or are not doing.
What do you mean? Mom cuddles him with the chocolate cake. Love is lasagna. Like, what do you mean? The dynamic? I can tell you that's what's going on.
How are you, Esther?
I'm barely getting through the day myself. I haven't had a chance to get ready or anything this morning.
Me and my mum are quite close. I think she worries about me the most and I worry about her the most. She's quite stressed all the time. She has loads of things to do. People don't really take into account, you know.
You know what? I haven't seen his dad yet, so maybe his dad's not in the picture, which kinda would explain a lot if she's just giving him everything he wants because his dad's not there or something along. She just probably feels like she's spoiling him, but I mean, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I know you're trying to give him everything probably, but it's not going to work out the way you think. It's going to be a sad, sad life.
She has, 4 kids. We're all, you know, quite stressful.
I'm totally alone, totally unsupported in every direction.
Tommy picks up a lot on her worry and her anxiety. What Tommy needs is for Esther to be resilient and for Esther to have the right support around her to be able to prioritise him so that he's able to manage things a bit easier.
Of course he's worried about his mom. Every little boy is worried about their mom. But I think there's plenty of women out there, probably women watching this, that put on a strong face every single day for their kids. Never let them see worry because kids shouldn't have to worry about all the things that comes with adulting. So I'm sure there's plenty of women out there that hide it really well. If you put it out there and just kind of let it be known that this is stressing you out, of course he's going to get stressed out.
Break things down a little smaller, little goals.
Yeah.
And how's school?
It's fine.
Attendance had come down 36%. Tommy has ME, so his consultant said no, he definitely didn't want him to do more than 2 lessons a day. He then dropped down to 1.
Just maybe think.
What? That's all he's doing school-wise? I mean, they kicked me out. Like, they told me I could leave after 3rd period, but that's because I was raising hell. So they just wanted me out of there. And then the senior year, they just let me go home half day because I was in work study and didn't have a job. That was kind of fun.
Thinking about this week then, let's think really short term. I guess it's maybe looking at seeing what is different in hospital and if there is anything that you can replicate at home maybe.
I did get a job eventually, okay. I went to Party City. They fired me for sucking the helium out of the balloons and singing Justin Timberlake.
I know, but in what respect? I just feel so, at times, Tom goes to bed, I'm breaking down.
Yeah. And what does that look like for you?
Support for, I need some support. I need to obviously discuss things that are going on, and there's only so much. There's only so much I can do as his mum because we have an emotional attachment. So that's why I need other people to step up.
You're giving him a whole bunch of reason for him to not be successful. Like, oh, we're attached emotionally. I'm stressed out, so he stress eats. You can't give a kid an out like that. You give a kid an out like that to just say, oh, well, I'm stressed because mom's stressed. They're just going to keep doing whatever the hell they want.
It is difficult sometimes when you do work with parents. Sometimes parents' needs eclipse children's needs. It feels like that, but you need to be able to focus on the children.
Yeah, she needs to download like a Bumble or something instead of eating a bunch of taquitos and burritos. Or Grindr. I'm not going to assume anything.
You don't want to walk with Mummy and Willow.
Here comes Ego Elsa about to throw another tantrum.
You want to walk all by yourself?
I walk it out. I walk it out.
Let's sit on the bed, please.
No.
5-year-old Liliana is called back in for a checkup.
You can keep still, please. I can't take your shoe off.
Since her last visit.
Okay. Discipline, a foreign concept of this kid. She's let this kid do whatever the hell for so long, she don't even respect her mother one bit, and she's 5.
Not only has her weight gone up, her behaviour has deteriorated.
Right, get on those scales now, Lily.
No.
I'm fed up of being nice. Get on the scales.
No.
1, 2, 2.5. Come on, Lilith.
2 3/4. Mom, make the girl get up and get on the damn scale. It shouldn't be that hard, right? I feel like when I was this age, I was listening to my mother at 5. I was not bad till I was like an early teen, okay? That's when I kind of broke like bad. But at this point, I would have listened. I'm 5.
Turn.
And her constant hunger is worrying the team.
I don't think at the moment we're getting anywhere.
No, I don't need help.
We need to very carefully investigate any other issues. Hello, it's Julian Hamilton Shields. I wonder if you could do me a favour.
With one last avenue to explore, Julian sends her tests to a specialist lab to see if
And this guy's lost all his damn hair from dealing with 5-year-olds like this. He's tore it all out.
there's a hidden reason for her obesity.
I think based on the fact that the child's not really losing much weight with our normal lifestyle interventions, probably means that we ought to look at simple obesity tests done in Cambridge.
Do you worry about the repercussions on her health?
Yeah, of course I do. She always says, am I going to be in a wheelchair, Mum? No. She went, I love it.
I'm going to give her a little bit of grace because I think she's probably up to her neck in stress too. She's doing a better job hiding it than the other lady. At least she's not sitting there crying in front of her daughter, so she can kind of transfer some of that. But yeah, I think she's just overwhelmed. So she just let her eat whatever because she was quiet, right?
I'm scared that I'm going to beat her carrot.
That's terrible.
15 million people are obese in this country.
And I think that they should pay for an extra large bed if they need it in hospital. I think they should pay for any operations.
I just cannot believe that I'm hearing it. It's just absolutely disgusting to me.
Hey, I'm not against a tubby tax, all right? I think we could get a lot of weight issues under control if we start taxing. I think, didn't Obama do that? Put in like a special extra sugar tax? I think that actually happened over here in the US at one point.
We now know that obesity is one of the biggest pools of cancer in this country, which is absolutely huge. We can't ignore statistics like that.
The sugar tax didn't really work out great for us because we're still fat as hell as a nation, but...
And whilst our clinic obviously costs money, the cost of managing any long-term medical condition will far outweigh our having a bit of input now and what we spend on them now for their future.
Back in theatre, 14-year-old Harry is going in for his emergency hip operation.
This is still crazy to me that this kid's getting a hip operation.
Hopefully we'll get some decent rest tonight, yeah.
But the problem with a hip replacement is, if I'm not mistaken, you need like, I think you need a new one every 10 to 20 years, depending on the material they use. Because if they use like titanium, it's harder on the bones. It'll break down over time. Like.
Hello, Tommy.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm taking you out for a walk, I guess. Not out, but out of the room.
I need to get out and put on some shoes.
It's day 3 of Tommy's weight loss program. The team is attempting to cut his usual 4,000 calories a day in half and double his exercise.
A lot of soda, a lot of chips. You'd be surprised how quick you can get up to 4,000. That's like an average day in girl world. 4,000's like a diet day.
But his mum thinks they're asking too much.
He's exhausted.
Yeah.
And he's not getting enough calories to keep him going like that.
What we are trying to do is to get that routine going so that he gets into a custom of waking up in the morning, having his breakfast, then having his lunch and then his evening meal, so that we can avoid that crazing and snacking that's been going on.
Oh yeah, poor kid, not getting enough calories. He's starving. I think if there was any kind of inclination that the mom was part of the problem, we just found it right here. You can go suck a bottle of syrup, lady. Like, get the hell out of here.
You can't just make Tommy 3 meals in a day and stay awake because his body doesn't allow him to do that. So in between those 3 meals, he needs to be allowed at some point to rest so that he doesn't go.
What does he catch narcolepsy from friggin' like Nutella? How's this work?
Going to crash.
I'm sorry that you feel that it has come across.
I don't
like that.
feel, that's how it is.
Okay.
He needs some rest periods.
Okay. Do you mean that he needs to be able to sleep?
Do you understand chronic fatigue syndrome? I'm sure you do as a dietitian, don't you?
Yeah. Is this not counted as a rest period when he is actually in bed?
He doesn't need to be in bed all the time.
So then
Do you understand? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk.
sorry, Mum. It's just that I'm not quite sure then.
Nor am I, to be honest.
Yeah, so
Nor am I.
I'm not just quite sure if we're talking about actual, then that you want him to have more sleep during the day.
It's not, please,
Yeah,
just one thing. Please stop saying that I want.
Okay.
I want.
Yeah.
I want nothing but my child back.
I understand.
And I'm not going to have this conversation in front of other patients because it's really not fair.
Okay.
So we'll go to, I'll speak to you in the other room.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
Is she gonna bulldoze her the second she gets her alone in the other room? You're gonna tackle this lady till she gives this kid some tacos? What the hell are you talking about?
So her main dissatisfaction was around Tommy's sleep and activity.
I find the conversation around the chronic fatigue and the sleep quite surprising. My understanding of chronic fatigue is that actually they do encourage their patients to continue daily exercise.
So I think the activity that we are asking Tommy to engage with, they're not that strenuous. It's just a walk.
She was quite clear in clinic that actually she didn't want him to come in for a prolonged period and just...
All right, so the mom, oh, well, you have this condition. You cannot perform average everyday stuff. So I'm sure his whole life he's gotten an out. Anytime he had to exercise or was in gym class in school, had to do something, well, I got this. I don't got to do it. So he kind of had an out his whole life, and now his mom's just making it worse. It's a friggin' walk.
Sit on a bed. She wanted it to be useful and productive.
Exactly.
Tommy isn't the first child that we've admitted, is he? We've done this with a few children now, and actually I would say every one of those admissions has had a successful outcome during their stay. We know how to support them, we know how to get the best out of the time being here.
I don't know what her expectations are.
Having your control taken away. I think that's the hardest thing. You're a bit defeated. You couldn't save the day. And that's hard.
What situation are you trying to control? Are you overwhelmed or do you need more control? Which one is it? Make up your damn mind.
Because you couldn't. And you tried. You tried every day. But you couldn't do it.
We felt that we really don't know what else we could do at the moment. We all agreed that
We
this
did all
would
agree
be...
for him to come in,
Yeah,
but we didn't
so-
agree for him to come in for it to be totally not listen to the parent and take control of my child. We didn't agree for that. You need to listen.
What the hell did you think they were going to do in a weight loss clinic? You thought you were going to stay there, feed him the whole time, and make sure he got enough nappies in? Like, what the hell?
Listen to me.
Okay.
Tommy, as a child, obviously is in a position. If you want him to go for a walk, say, come on then, Tom, put your shoes on, let's go for a walk. Because if you ask him, he'll say no.
Okay. Because when I came in and I said, let's go for a walk, he started shifting to live with me. So why don't we do that now?
Yeah, you do what you want to do, and I'll step back as a parent for the week and then we'll...
No, that's...
Honestly, right now, I really, honestly, my anxiety is so bad.
Fine. So really, Mum, we all have a goal of having Tommy in a better place.
This lady is absolutely insufferable. I'll step back as a parent. Oh, my anxiety's through the roof. Blah, 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 blah. Like, she's the damn problem. I think she's probably the majority of the problem for this kid. I didn't think it was this bad at all.
Is that when you put somebody on the...
Do you think that Tommy would be okay on his own here in the hospital if you weren't here?
Yeah, Tom would be fine, but he would just do as he was told.
And would that be a bad thing?
Isn't that what the hell he's supposed to do? Are we still working on getting the platform 903/4 vending machine Voldemort? Like, what the hell are we talking about?
It's not always going to be the right thing, though, is it? And he's my little boy. I need to be with him. I need to. I'll never let go, will I?
This kid is going to be such a terribly adjusted adult just based off her parenting, from what I can tell right now. Because by the time I hit adulthood, I was not sure how to adult. It was not pretty. I was like, oh, what the hell do I do now? I'm here. But yeah, you can't over mother somebody. It's a bad situation.
One of the problems with obesity is that it's such a visible condition, and unfortunately there is a lot of stigma.
People are making choices. They're making bad choices. They need to be told.
This is actually more similar to a kind of addiction or an eating disorder.
Tommy is more than a week into his stay.
Are you absolutely starving?
Not absolutely, I'm not going to die.
After initially losing weight, the team has spotted a worrying sign.
For the love of God, I knew she was hitting up that vending machine. He's not getting enough food. And then we wonder why he's in this clinic on some kind of weight loss, like controlled diet, and not losing weight. And then you see the mom laying in the bed with some damn gummy bears.
I didn't realise Mum had brought ready meals in. I didn't think she'd actually brought meals in.
Why did you bring some food in for him?
Because he wasn't eating what's here, and it's basically defeating the object. It's meant to be nutritious, and I understand they've got loads, but like, so this is what he had the other day, and he just left it. There was a little chop there, so yeah.
Okay, so let him go hungry until he starts eating what they're giving.
The little chop. They brought everything in yesterday to go to the calorie amount, but he's not allowed to have those, even though they were completely calorie counted meals. And I knew that he would have ate them, so he would have been more comfortable with not being hungry. I'm quite disappointed, really.
Did you count every single gummy bear he ate here? Treat time troll?
Was he weighed this morning?
No, I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I can remember which day we'd set for him to have a weigh.
So I think there is probably that mum's fear of losing control a bit. And I did say to Mum all the time that no, we want to do this together with you. It is our plan. It's not that we are working in isolation. It is working together.
As mothers, you're almost pre-programmed to feed your child, because for the minute they're born, it's all about how much are they feeding, how much are they feeding, how much are they feeding. But
okay, when they're babies, right, and you're trying to track how much milk they're drinking, yeah, I'm sure you're tracking how much they're being fed, right? Once they hit a certain point, teenage, whatever, like, yeah, you want your kid to eat and be full. You don't want to overfeed them and just keep giving them more and more when they're 300 pounds already.
at some point, we then have to support mothers to ease off. Feeding them isn't the same as loving them. There's a fine line between that, and I think a lot of parents feel like if they say no, they're not being very loving.
He's put a little bit of weight, 143.5, so 1 kilogram. In 4 days.
4 days. He's put on 1 kilogram in 4 days, and you're bringing him healthy meals? Oh, somebody needs to put this mom out of the damn hospital.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright.
Good weekend?
Yeah.
Was there anything different over the weekend?
No.
No.
Not really.
No. Nothing.
Well, I can think of. Nothing obvious, anyway. I mean,
No. No.
You know, we can't police people
Where the hell did that tangerine come from? Are we having tangerines?
24/7, so don't know if he had access to any other food. I don't know if maybe he was less active. I don't know.
He has done nothing but stick exactly to plan. He's been absolutely spot on, and he's gone up a little bit.
You are a scumbag. Total scumbag, lying to the doctor and making this so much harder.
I'm just disappointed in seeing this increase.
I kind of want to go home. So.
Thank you.
You know who she reminds me of right now? Lisa King from the James King episode. Like, he needs to eat and just keep giving him more and more food until he's going to be bedbound.
Do you think he's been eating additional food? Do you think Mum's brought in more food for him?
Don't think I should answer this. Sorry.
I had a piece of chocolate. I think that's about it. Because yeah, somebody brought in this box for me, this box of chocolates, and I had one.
I wonder who that was that brought in the magic chocolate that made you gain a whole kilogram. Could it be Willy Wonka in the corner?
It's definitely from my mum, but I ended up putting on weight somehow.
Wanker.
Tommy's weight has always been on the increase, and this was the point when he got admitted, and you can see that's clear, big drop. Everybody was understandably upset when he gained weight, but I think overall, we all feel that Mum should be reasonably pleased that he did lose weight, which I don't think has happened to him before. There's not.
Because it's totally possible for him to gain weight if he's set up for success. You are setting your son up for failure, woman.
Nothing that can be done here, which can't be done at home. The next challenge is to make this sustainable. Responsibility will now lie with Tommy and his mum.
His chance of success is next to zero at this point with the way his mom is. I don't think he wants it enough to kind of spite her and do it on his own, which is sad.
"15-year-old Harry is back in to see Julian following his hip operation.
He was 135, 140 kilos. He dropped 4 kilos. He's regained 2 kilos. So it's not really working, is it?
With no improvement in his weight, Julian wants to dig deeper.
Harry.
And you think a bad hip and weight gain is a bad combo? Yeah, it's not going to work out well if he keeps putting on weight with a new hip.
Do you want to come in, young man? Come and have a seat.
To see if he can work out the cause of his problem.
I met you on the ward, and that was a couple of weeks back. You were 110 kilograms then, and you put on a couple of 2.5 kilos since. So what things do you think you can do?
This is what he gets upset about.
Yeah, I know, and it's upsetting. It's difficult. Some people you can see the hurt they feel from what you said. It gives me no great satisfaction doing that. So Harry knows that kind of it's a problem because it's weight, but the important thing is that Harry also needs to work out that he's the solution.
Nobody's going to come save you. At the end of the day, you should be getting upset. You should be upset enough to want to change something. At this age, I didn't want it enough to do it either. So, like, as much as I want to see these kids change, I also understand that it's something as a child that's going to be hard to address or even hear. Like, you don't want to hear this stuff because it's upsetting to hear that you put on weight. But he's going to have to address it at some point. It's only going to spiral more and more.
It's quite an emotive subject. It's not a blame thing. It's it's apportioning, not blame. It's apportioning responsibility. Yeah, how can we address this? You are the person who has to a degree, make the decisions for us. What would you like to do?
I think it's difficult with teenagers because I think you have that balance where they're starting to be more independent, but they are not emotionally ready for some of the things that they maybe have the independence over managing, and that very often is food.
Would you like us to give you a more structured diet so you could actually just follow it?
So you'd like to try that, Harry? If they put down what you can have. Come on.
All right, so he's just shutting down because it's hard to hear. Grandma's trying to be supportive. This kid's going to throw a little tantrum. So he's never going to get any better if he just acts like this the whole time.
people are almost ashamed, which is really sad that that's how they feel. If they were self-harming in a very physical way, we wouldn't name and shame them, and yet there's something around if you've got a weight issue that yes, it's your fault and you just need to go and flick the switch and stop doing what you're doing. And actually, you know, the deep-seated root is huge, and I think as society that's not really being recognised at all.
It's always going to be easier said than done when it comes to weight. Like, obviously, it's easier to put your head in the sand and just act like nothing is wrong until it gets so bad you're 600 pounds and in my shoes and you don't know what the hell to do.
It's a comfort thing, I'm sure it is. His father used to take them out like before, you know, when they were smaller after he left, but when they got a bit older, he didn't bother with them, never even got in contact with them. I think that's what probably did it.
He kept coming back, and then he kept leaving, and then he would come back and then say, oh, I'm leaving, and then, you know, he kept doing that.
So he's emotionally eating because he feels hurt. It makes sense. He's got a dad. Dad sounds like a scumbag. So he's going to eat his feelings. He's a kid, right?
You don't want to upset you, Harry.
No, he's very sensitive. He gets upset easily, about it at home.
Well, it is, I know it's upsetting.
You know, if you say you can't have something, he goes off, runs off and slams the door.
Do you think your relationship with your dad is connected to your relationship with your weight?
I don't want to be like, you know, that person that, you know, finds every excuse, but I think it is.
Obviously, I don't want to be sitting here watching a kid that's hurt like this, but he's going to have to find different outlets to kind of make it like positive for him to lose weight. So find positive ways to get this like feelings out. I don't know, something that he loves to do that's not eating.
I think it might be useful if you came in and had another appointment with us when Harry, we're all there but no doctor, so it's called a therapy appointment. But we have Claire, our psychologist, there, and Claire's really good at helping with some of the feelings I think you've got right now. Would you come in and see her?
Come on, Harry.
A lot of the adolescents who describe their hunger, actually when you really talk to them, it's not about hunger, it's more about a need, and it's quite an intrinsic need. They do almost get a feeling of love from eating.
Kids are not equipped to deal emotionally with a lot of things, so they'll find any kind of outlet they can, whether it's harming them or not. And the food is clearly harming him if he's had a hip replacement at his age. So he's going to have to address it. He's going to have to deal with it. And the other kid's mom is going to have to stop enabling her son because she's putting all of her emotional stress onto him and he's just eating.
Don't despair, Harry. We will be able to help you. Come on, do you want to get me help? Do you want to get up? Yeah, let me give you. Do you want to? No? Okay.
What you need to do is you need to deal with the emotional trauma that is making them feel like they actually need that food in their life as a substitute.
Five-year-old Liliana has been called to the lab, where her
and we're back to this kid is going to throw some more tantrums for some food. This one, she's 5. Hers could be addressed so easy because it's so early on. But with the other ones, they're already in their teenage years. They're already starting to rebel against whatever their parents say anyway. So they're really at the hardest time to address something like this if they don't want it themselves.
tests have been analysed.
No talking. Stay nice and still, Lil.
Her weight has risen to 7 stone, and they're trying to work out if there's an underlying reason.
What does it
So she's 98 pounds at 5?
do?
So there we were measuring how the body burns calories, and we can measure how much of the calories you burn come from fat versus carbohydrate. Okay?
All done. Wow.
You can breathe into a thing to figure out how many bagels you've ate? That's wild.
Done.
No, I can talk.
Okay, we're all done. Let's go.
Thank you.
Hey, right, come through.
Thank you.
So all the doctors in Bristol work very closely with us. You did some mouth swab tests, and so one of the things that we're looking at is whether there may be a reason you are a little bit heavy. And one of the things that we look at is whether sometimes that might be because there's a certain gene that might not be working. When we tested your sample, then we found that your gene was not working.
That's right, it's genetic. That's how my genes got up to size 60. I got the fat gene, damn it. I need any kind of excuse I can have.
It's just one gene, and the other genes are fine. So one of the things that the gene does is it works in the brain, and it affects your appetite.
She's always hungry. Yeah.
And that can be quite a hard thing. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're probably being told off like all the time. It's not your
Yep, it's that damn swollen diaphragm DNA. That thing will get you every friggin' time.
fault you're hungry.
No.
Oh, okay, right, okay. So
you okay?
Yeah, you're friends with me now, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, oh, right, okay. All right, okay. Good, good. Now, if the gene isn't working...
It gets hungrier and hungrier.
Exactly. Now, if you take a regular person and you don't let them eat for 3 days, just imagine how hungry you would be.
Oh, I would be starving.
That's how this little one will feel all the time.
Oh, no.
Right?
Look, the kid's obviously hungry. I thought something was weird when she said she'll eat toilet paper or something if she doesn't get food. So I knew something was off here. But I guess that kind of explains why she throws the tantrums and such. So this kid's in for the battle of a lifetime. I feel bad because the rest of her life she's going to have to deal with that. Whereas with me having the weight loss surgery, I learned it was okay to be hungry and push past that. And then, like, after a little bit of time, you don't feel hungry anymore.
Okay. So there are a couple of medicines that have now been developed.
That
So
is very, very
what we would want to do is to have you a little bit older
Yeah.
before we would start those. So in the meantime, keep an eye on what you're eating. Yeah? Try to eat the healthy things and the right things and make sure that the weight doesn't go on. Because with this gene, what we find is your body is not very good at burning calories. Does it sound okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of cute. When she's being nice, she's cute. When she's throwing a tantrum, that kid's got something else going on, right? But she's too young to be put on calorie crank or whatever the hell medicine they're going to put her on.
Good. Well done. Oh, that's so sweet. That is a massive relief. I now know that it is an actual medical condition. I feel like that I don't have to worry anymore about what people say and what they think about her.
You shouldn't really worry about what other people think anyway. Just keep doing your thing. And but yeah, she was crying earlier. She really didn't know how to address this. So this must be a huge load off.
Really?
In a way, it's helpful to know that this is a reason, but it doesn't often resolve anything. It doesn't change what we do, I guess. She has to learn the routine of eating as a routine and as a behaviour rather than following her feelings.
To help manage Liliana's condition, the team's psychologist is working with Lana to address Liliana's behaviour.
Wow, so this kid's getting set up for success right off the bat. This is good. That's what I meant by she's 5. She could be, like, taught to adjust.
Why don't we think about trying to have a bit of a different interaction here so that the conversation becomes less about food and behaviour and perhaps more about her spending a bit of time with mummy, doing something really focused.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
No, they didn't. Come on then. Right, so.
5 weeks after his discharge, Tommy is back for a weigh-in.
You ain't even got to tell me. I know this kid friggin' gained weight going home with mom, thinking he's starving all the time.
137.
Yes!
No, 136.9.
He's lost 1.5 stones.
Well, hot damn. I didn't see that one coming. I thought this lady was like Satan snack time or something over here. I didn't think he was going to lose weight.
God, I feel sick.
You alright? It's good news, isn't it? It's good news, isn't it? Yeah.
136.9.
It's on the computer now, so everyone's happy. I didn't think the computer can believe it either, honestly. So I was really looking forward to putting that on.
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dropping 21 pounds, and the mom seemed like a total knob job at first, bringing him snacks and chocolate in the friggin' hospital. So I didn't think he was going to lose weight.
Oh.
This is your BMI, your weight, your height. That was while you were in hospital. Look at that angle.
It's lovely. All good numbers. You should be really pleased. It's amazing. We're all pleased.
We don't often get such steep graph.
No.
But that's excellent, that's fantastic. You've done very well. You can go home really pleased with yourself, so well done. So it comes back to the basics. Who is responsible for their child's eating behaviours and what happens to them?
Maybe I could...
If you want my opinion on this, because I see this talked about in the comments all the time. I think up to a certain point, the parents are responsible. Once you become like a teenager or like that little preteen area right there, you need to take some kind of accountability for what you're putting in your mouth, because it's no longer up to your mom what she's feeding you every single moment of the day.
Could have been a stronger person in it. Maybe I could have said no a little bit more often. But no one's going to take that control away from me again. So maybe I've become more focused.
I have to make a big thing about this, but you guys are much slimmer than you used to be. A family that buys into the weight loss makes it so much easier for the children.
And if the whole family's trying to lose weight, obviously they'll be successful. Like my dad literally tried to bribe me to lose weight. Well, if you drop 50 pounds, I'll give you $100. This is when I'm like 10. Obviously, never got the payout, but they were trying.
The things he does, I probably do as well. And I do feel that if I don't sort my diet out, then how do I expect him to?
You have to work through the parents, because they're the ones who are going to be the effectors of change. They're the ones who need to do it.
All right, so that's it for obese kids and kids that are eating themselves to death. And I think at the end of the day, with this one, you just, like, being a fat kid is one of the toughest things I think you can be out here, because kids, they really don't pull their punches. They really will come at you for your weight, and they will be relentless. So at some point, you know, you're gonna have to learn to adjust, lose the weight, do something, try to live a healthier life. But the parents are playing a huge part in this, especially early on in your life. And the one mom, I definitely thought she was setting her kid up for failure. He ends up losing 21 pounds. The other kid with the hip replacement, I don't know. He's dealing with a lot of emotional stuff, and like you have to get your mind right to get your body right. The 5-year-old's dealing with some kind of genetic marker that makes him hungry all the time. So it's sad to see a kid that's going to struggle through a lot of the same things I struggled through as a kid. I don't blame my parents. At a certain point, yeah, they were giving me all kinds of food. I gained a bunch of weight, right? At some point in there, I have to take accountability for myself. So at the end of the day, all of them are going to have to learn to do that. They're going to have to learn to be like, this is my problem. This is something I've got to solve. Take accountability, take action, right? But leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this one, because I'm interested to see the discussion in the comments of what people feel about parents being like the ones at fault versus kids being the ones at fault. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye.